Good morning, YouTube. Warbles on a lot here. Last night when I got back from town at about 10:15, Dyson was standing over there beside the Brumby, or sort of in front of the flax lilies beside the Brumby. And this morning when I woke up, Dyson was lying there in the same spot, having died during the night. And now that he's dead, I can finally pat the poor old boy, because I could never touch him when he was alive. He wouldn't have liked it. So, Saturday morning, I think he was shot on the Wednesday, week before last. Going to show you a look at the horrific bloody damage done by 10 days to a bullet wound that tore the back off his heel. And yesterday morning when he come and got up onto the deck to scratch on the door and have his piece of bread and crap on the boards, that was the famous last rally that you get with people and animals in the palliative care game. Come on, close your eyes, boy. Anyway, Dyson's dead. Finally. At long and at last. And aren't I glad that I didn't try and organise somebody to come and chase him down and shoot him yesterday to try and put him out of his misery. Because that just would have frightened the shit out of him and made it much more miserable still. And as good a friend as he is, or was, I'm not much into letting him go rotten this close to the hut. Especially not to the east of it, because otherwise I'm going to be smelling him for weeks. And that's just not pleasant. So I think I'll take the wheelbarrow and use it to carry him up to Canada John's pyramid, where Fruitcake's mother lies in repose as well. Not a very palatial hearse, but I suppose it's better than that afforded for most kangaroos, with a bit of a funeral procession. To watch the proceedings. Bring him up via the top south west corner. And while wheeling the barrow, I noticed one kind of good thing. When he died, perhaps as a result of yesterday's saline irrigation, he didn't actually have any maggots in his wound. Yeah, we didn't have any bloody hope of ever curing that, did we, mate? But you got 10 days. And we come up into the sunshine at the pyramid. So, we have the pyramid, made of what's left of Canada John's 35 horsepower Mark III Skycraft Scout with wing warpings. And then, over here, we have a cairn of rocks. Over the top of Fran 2, probably the second swamp wallaby to eat bread. Her mother Fran was the first, but Fran 2 came for breakfast for something like 11 years. And finally, she was hit by a car on the driveway, and she hobbled up on one foot with a broken leg and bones sticking out of a thigh to show up for breakfast. And then refused bread and hopped off and Yeah, here she is. Under some rocks in a hole in the ground beside Canada John's pyramid. And I put her under the rocks because at the time we had a bit of a fox problem, and I didn't like the idea of thinking of them eating my old friend. But you know what? I'm thinking that looks like a pretty pleasant spot for a young adolescent kangaroo to lie in the morning and watch the world go by. That's assuming that there's any lasting connection between the shade or the spirit or the soul of a dead kangaroo and what happens to their body after they die. Whether there is or there isn't. The concept of Canada John having a pair of my marsupial friends beside what's left of his aeroplane, which had a fair bit of his life force spirit energy splashed all over it when it went into the hole, seems to me like a thing that Johnny would appreciate about as much as I do. And I don't think that either Fran 2 or Dyson, Dizzy's son, would object very much at all to lying beside Canada John's pyramid, because he was one cool dude who got on really, really well with all the critters. So there you go. That's what happened to Dyson in the final finish. Here endeth the funeral service. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Ciao.